Hey guys, welcome back to the latest episode of the Growing a Dental Practice podcast. I am your host, Mike Hennon from Patient Boost. I am joined today by my lovely co-host, Hazel Woodward from Lift Social.
Whoop whoop in the house.
Are we gonna start every podcast where it's me and you with whoop whoop?
Yeah, man. Whoop whoop.
Can I get a whoop whoop? Can I get a whoop whoop? Hey
Don't
guys,
push
well
it.
yeah, don't push it. No, guys, you are in the right place. It is another episode of the Growing a Dental Practice podcast. Today is a great. It's going to be a great episode because Hazel is going to be sharing a new development in the social media world that's going to have a big impact or a positive impact on your SEO and your website and your rankings and getting found on Google. So Hazel, over to you.
Thanks, mate. So, I don't know about you, but I follow quite a few websites and I get a lot of blogs and like RSS feeds, and just to kind of keep your finger on the pulse and see what's changing and what's new and what's coming. So, Google My Business has changed its name to Google Business Profile.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh, yes, got it right. I'm always going to refer it to Google My Business, but you know, it's what it is.
I think most people.
Like
I think most
Facebook
people will.
is Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook is Facebook. It's not Meta. It's Facebook. But anyway, we digress. So you may have noticed as you might not have done. So as you are Googling big businesses on Google, that on their kind of their side box on the search engine results pages, you've got all that the information. So opening hours, contact details, website. But there's never been a section for or social media handles, but that they were reserved for like the big brands. But actually, in the latest rollout, Google have been promising this to come to independent businesses or all businesses of all sizes for the last 2 years, and it's now live.
Amazing. So up until now, only big brands could link to their social media profiles on Google Business Profile.
Yes, exactly. So everyone might be thinking, well, what's the big deal? Like, if you just put my name in, I come up on the search engine results page anyway. Yeah. So, you know, is it worth the time and effort to do it? Now, me being a huge social media advocate, I'm going to 100% say yes, it's worth doing. I tested it on my account and it took me a grand total of about 30 seconds to update it. And that was LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. You can also do Pinterest, Twitter /X, and any of the other like more obscure social media platforms that I don't use because they're just really obscure. So yes, you can definitely add them to it. But with your SEO hat on, Mike, can you give us a little? So I know a little bit about SEO. So I know websites have something called domain authority. So the bigger the website, the more traffic it has, the bigger domain authority it has. So when you're backlinking to those platforms, it gives more SEO power to your website. So you're nodding, so I'm assuming I'm right.
Yeah, I'm happy. Right, yeah, you're absolutely right. So yeah, with my SEO hat on, so when it comes to like search engine optimization SEO, it's the process of getting your website found higher on Google organically without paying for ads. So like when you search for dentist in Prestwich or dentist in Manchester, they're both Manchester, but you know what I mean. Yeah. You want to try and appear as high up the rankings as possible versus your competition, so that you get as many more clicks than everyone else. And obviously, more clicks turns into hopefully more appointments and more patients. When we break it down, when I break it down, I typically talk about there's the stuff that we can do on the page to tell Google, what your business is about and what you do and all that kind of thing. Then there's the stuff off your website that's all about kind of, and backlinks is kind of part of that, where it's like we're getting other websites to tell Google that your website is legit and is a great place to go and is a good resource. So I think that's kind of what you were talking about, wasn't it? That whole idea of we want to get backlinks from other websites. So backlinks is basically a website's way of saying, we're linking to this other website which means that we think it's credible and we think it's like it has great content and is useful for our readers and our visitors. Therefore, you should take it more seriously. So it's kind of like it's almost like a website referral.
Yeah. So I know now, dental practices are going to be like, right, we need to put our web address on every single post on social media because it's amazing. And I just want to say, whoa. So whilst the social media platforms have their own algorithms, Google rankings, that's a completely different algorithm in and of itself. But what you can do is you can help them work together. So this doesn't mean that you have to put your web link on every single post or in every single comment, because all that's going to do is make the social media platform deprioritize your content when it's serving it to your audience, because what they want to keep your audience on the platform so they can serve them more ads and make more revenue. What we recommend you do instead is you definitely add your social media handles to your Google My Business page or business profile, but also at the same time, use it as an opportunity to go through and have a look at your page settings on Meta, Facebook. So is your website correct? Is your telephone number correct? Is your name, address, and all that correct? Because those are your NAP settings, which are great for Google as well. You've got to make sure they're consistent across all the platforms. See, I do know some things, It's not all just social media. I do know some things.
Hazel, what does NAP stand for?
Name, address, and phone number.
Perfect. And why is that important?
I don't know. I just know that it is.
Okay, so yeah, Hazel's made a great point. NAP, name, address, phone, is really helpful. What's important about that though is that you have the same NAP across all your platforms and your website. So making sure that the name of your business, the address of your business, and the phone number of your business is displayed in the same manner across every platform, whether it's social media, website, directory sites. Making sure that it's the same and consistent is what all search engines, Google, Bing, whatever it is, they all want to see that, because that means that you put a little bit of effort into making sure that it's consistent. You're providing a consistent experience to their visitors and their customers, and so on. Yeah, but great point.
So, and that kind of comes back to the point I was making about making sure your details are up to date. So I have recently updated my handle on Instagram. So we were lift.social or lift_social, but now we've rebranded to lift.dental. So whilst sometimes it's often done on a spur of a moment, or if you've been waiting for a handle and the handle's now become available and you want to grab it because it's, you want to have that handle, but then you've got to actually put time aside to go, right, where else do I need to update it? Do I need to update the feed on my website? Do I need to update it on my Google My Business profile? Do I need to update it on my Facebook? Do I need to update it on my LinkedIn? And then you've got to make sure that you go and update it in all these different places as well. So whilst this new feature on Google My Business page is, I'm just merging the names now, Google My Business and Google My Business page, and just making a whole new platform.
We know what you mean.
So making sure that information is up to date is, you can just kind of use it as a trigger to go, okay, let's just do a mini audit of all of the other places where our information is stored, and spend 20 minutes, half an hour updating it in all those places, because you need to do it essentially.
Yeah, fantastic. And obviously, what are the benefits of having your social media profiles visible on your Google Business profile widget?
That's what it's called, a widget.
It's a widget, or I think they call it a knowledge graph. I think that's.
Is it? I thought it was called a card, or those shopping cards at the top.
It's like a widget / knowledge graph / panel thing. Yeah. But
the square at the side.
The square at the side of when you do a search. Yeah. So why is that good?
So it's good because not everyone wants to go to a website. I don't know about you, but I would always, whenever I'm searching anything or looking for a new business, I always use the platforms that I spend the most time on. So I would always search for business on Instagram first, and then I might have a look and see what they're doing on Facebook. And then finally, at the end of my buying journey, I go to the website to make a purchase and check out. But it's another opportunity for you to capture more patients that are at different stages of their buying or patient journey, and allows them to access your accounts no matter where they are in whichever platform they prefer to consume content on. Mm-hmm. So my mum and dad are not on Instagram. My dad's on Facebook, but my mum uses the internet. So to be able to capture that kind of traffic, no matter the referral source, is super, super important, as well as obviously the credibility of making sure your nap's all right.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously you are getting a link back from Google, which obviously helps boost your rankings. I had a great example of when it made at the weekend, it made I got more accurate data from their Instagram page than the business's website. So Sunday night, we were looking for a pub quiz in Bath.
Okay.
This is a very random story. We Googled it, and there were lots of websites popped up saying this pub has got a pub quiz, this pub has got a pub quiz. The details on the website weren't up to date, or it didn't look they were up to date. And we went over to Instagram. We looked at their latest story, and it said pub quiz at 8:00, whereas their website said like 7:30. Their actual Instagram said posted a couple of hours ago was like, yeah, come along at 8. So like perfect. That kind of, so it's just like, because I think sometimes people keep their social media up to date more than they do their website.
Yeah, and I think that's because it's easier to update your Instagram or your socials than it is to update your website. You obviously this won't resonate with you, but with me, whenever I'm like having to update my website, I have to like steel myself. Breathe. You're not gonna break it. It's fine. Whereas, and I think it can be quite daunting for practices, especially to where do I log in? How do I log in? What are my login credentials? What do I do if I change it? What if I break it? So whereas your Instagram or your Facebook, bang, done. Happy days. Yeah. It's so simple. That's if it's not on a glitchy day.
Yeah, absolutely.
They had glitchy days yesterday. Instagram was being very glitchy yesterday. And then you just kind of put it in a corner and go, you need to go on the naughty step for a few hours. And then we get it back and it's fine. So use this opportunity as an opportunity for you to go check all of your social media accounts, make sure all the relevant information is accurate, it's up to date, and get that SEO juice, which is freely provided by Google.
Yeah, bit of SEO juice. Who doesn't like a bit of SEO juice? Updating your panel for your Google business profile is quite straightforward. So if you are an admin or an owner or like a user of the profile for your practice, when you search for your practice name, you should see the settings like where you would see most of the search results. Or you can go to Google Business Profile, log in, and it will take you either to that page or like the back end of it. And it is like, Hazel, it's straightforward, isn't it, to add those details?
Yeah, so I did it. So we're obsessed with getting Google reviews at the moment. So like, if you just Google your business name, then if the browser that you're using it's already logged in, you'll see the back panel anyway. The back end, it'll just come up. So then you just change it. Honestly, it literally took me 20 seconds. It's so easy.
Yeah, fantastic. Obviously, just make sure that you have the links to all your social profiles ready to go, or if you need to, just bring them up as and when you need it. Question for you, Hazel. Obviously, you mentioned that you can add pretty much any social media platform.
Yes.
Which platforms should dentists and practices actually upload? Is it like every social media platform that they've ever had, or just the ones they're active on?
Yeah, I'm going to say just the ones they're active on. So, and you need to make sure as well that it is the right address. So it's not unusual for dental practices to have 2 or 3 accounts for Instagram because they've had a TCO or a practice manager or someone start an Instagram and it's gone dormant and then they've left and they've never had the login credentials, so they started another one. So it's not unusual for that to happen. So it's the most active ones, the one where most of your audience is and where you're regularly updating content to. So that's another thing really that they should be checking, making sure the right one is linked to it. So yeah, a good point. Thanks for that, Mike.
Because I was gonna say, like, if you got Twitter /X like years ago, and you don't use it anymore, because I think you'll probably tell Instagram and Facebook and kind of TikTok kind of are they. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but they're more prevalent, aren't they, in the world of dentistry? Is X Twitter as popular these days?
So I think it's more popular for customer service. So like if you need to reach out to a brand that you can't get access to for whatever reason, then people generally go to X to basically call them out and get them to take action to resolve the issue. I'm not sure. I don't know any dental practices that are active on Twitter or X as a practice, to be honest.
Yeah, perfect. So if you've got so just because you've got a Twitter/X account doesn't mean you should link to it in your Google business profile.
Yeah, exactly. And definitely you should start to just use the platforms that you're active on. And if you haven't actually started posting to Google My Business page, then why not? Because it's a legitimate social media platform that has excellent SEO power. So you should be posted on that as well.
Yeah, I do know that Google rewards businesses that post regular content. So if you're posting regular content, even if it's just like the same content you're posting on the other platforms, posting it there as well, is really good from Google's perspective. So that's cool. Hazel, anything else we should know about this new ability to kind of include social media links on your Google business profile?
I think we've kind of covered everything we need to know on this, but I do want to do a very shameless plug for my secret email. So this is something that I have shared on my secret social media social media secrets, it's called. So it's the #1 secret email that you need to know to keep in front of the curve for social media. I need to work on that strap line.
That's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit too long. I need to work on that. But essentially, every Friday, I send an email out with 3 trending audios that are about to trend to use on your content the following week. You get a content prompt, and then you also get industry updates, and then a link to this podcast as well.
Fantastic.
So I'll put the link to Mike will put the link to the sign up form in the show notes, or you can visit my website and it's on there as well.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, so if you're on the pulse of social media, if you're in the practice, if you're the one in the practice that does your social media, and you want that little bit of a lift in your social media, if you want a bit of a lift and a boost engagement, and you want some ideas, because sometimes coming up content for your social media platform can be daunting or can be scary for some people. Hazel's going to be there in your inbox every week with some ideas and some tips. So definitely sign up for that. And like she said, I will include the link in the show notes. So Hazel, I think that's been a great episode. Really good episode. I think we've learned a lot.
Good. I'm happy to serve.
Perfect. And so stay tuned for more social media tips from Hazel in future episodes. But until then, guys, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.